Well, this morning in my quiet time with God, that is my first thing I do in the morning. He and I have coffee together every single day. Um,
That's a great coffee date.
yeah, it's a standing date at all times. And I was getting stressed out about a lot of things and things I
That
have
happens
to
when you get
do.
older.
Oh, okay. Anyhow, yeah, I've done it even when I'm younger, but maybe it's a funny feeling at my age sometimes to still go, why am I feeling so stressed? Oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. And again, he reminds me, be quiet. Let's just listen, Darlene. Let's just listen to me and quit talking and telling me what you need. Although it's, wonderful to tell him that. He told me this. Um, Stop getting stressed out about all the things you want to do and you think you have to do. Just be. It's not about doing, it's about being. And let that sink into somebody that needs to hear this, because that is my intention today. Is I know I am not so I'm uniquely made, just like everybody on here that's listening, and I'll get serious instead of my laughing self as usual, because I'm serious about this. Some people just think they I did for a while, and I still get um, seasons of my life that I think I have to do more to please him, not to please anybody else. I finally freed myself of that one. I don't need to please anybody but God. But he said, just be. Who did I call you to be? Just sit there and listen to me tell you how wonderful you are. Tell the gifts I put in you. Just listen to me. And that listening is not always easy for me. I've gotten way better at it than I used to be, but I'm still learning. Um, and I do. I wake up every day and I thank him for all kinds of things. I thank him for my health immediately, because I do not have what a lot of people my age or younger have. I don't have pain even like you do, Charlie. And it always breaks my heart when I know that you have pain. And I'm glad that you're doing something now that is going to help you and Randy with your pains, both of you. And I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful every morning that sometimes I spend more than that allocated 10, 15, 20 minutes that I'm supposed to spend with God. I really love that I'm at a point in my life that I can take as long as I want with him. I felt rushed for years that I had to get up, put my cup of coffee down, say, okay, God, see you tomorrow, or I'll talk to you later, but maybe not as intimately as right now.
Yeah.
And I've had people say, gee, I wish I did that more. Well, I'm not any more special than anybody else. Do it. Sit down wherever you feel like and listen.
Yeah. You might have
And
to wake up a little earlier. Sorry. I
mm,
mean,
mm-hmm,
sorry, not sorry. But I mean, if you're
mm-hmm,
feeling that you're not having that time in the morning, and I'm talking to myself, you might need to wake up a little bit earlier to do that time. I love it. Our conference that we went to, that was talking about, getting up and just, put your feet on the floor and you close your eyes and you're like, thank you.
mm-hmm,
Thank
mm-hmm.
you. Thank
Some
you.
people can't put their feet on the floor. It's
Yes.
just that simple to me sometimes when
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
complain about whatever they complain about. And I'm not saying I'm perfect and never complain, but I sure don't do it as much as I used to 10, 20, 30 years ago. I'm grateful for my eyesight. I'm grateful for I can get up and go to the bathroom by myself. My mother couldn't. I can wipe my own butt. My mom couldn't. I
Yeah.
can get in the shower. And I mean all day long. I do
Right.
thank him for all of that. But today it was like, how do I got to do all this stuff? And he's like, just be and stop thinking that I'm looking at your do. I'm looking
Yeah.
at your being. And
I love it, because we're not human beings, not human doings.
mhm,
For those of you who share our faith, we are believers, not do levers.
that's good. Yeah. Yeah. We still have to read and learn and grow. That I mean, again, that whole thing, if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not climbing, you're sliding, but not in the not in the hustle sense. I think I'm giving somebody permission, like I have gotten through today. Charlie and I had a phenomenal talk this morning before we got on here, and that is um, sometimes your hustle is gone. And that doesn't mean it's gone forever, but it might be for a season. I'm not 40. Surprise. I'm not 50. I'm not 60. I am 70 and proud of it and grateful for it. But sometimes my hustle cannot compete with the 40-year-old and the 50-year-old. Why would
Right.
it? Why would
And
it?
it's not, and then more
Not
importantly is
bad.
that it's no. We're not, get out of the comparison tribe.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a comparison tribe here. If that's what you want to be, this is the wrong podcast and the
Mm-hmm.
wrong community. What's most important is that you sit down and write out, what are my values at this season in my life? Doesn't matter what number, what age goes along to it, but what are my values at this season of my life? What are my core values? And is what I'm doing and being lining up with those core values? And if they're not, don't do them, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not in alignment. So it's like having your wash machine out of alignment, and it's going and it finally stops, right? I mean, ours does
Mm-hmm.
in the spin. It'll just
Mm-hmm.
stop and wait for you to adjust it, and then
Good
it'll
analogy.
spin again. Same thing with your car.
Mm-hmm.
We tell you, don't throw the car out because your car's out of alignment. You go get an alignment. And I think that sometimes we have to stop and do a lot of self-alignment and be self-aware of what is not in alignment with my core values and my core beliefs right now, or what I feel that it is on my track, on my road right now, in my path, and not look at other people's, what they're doing. And the grind could not be part of that. It doesn't mean that you're any less than. You just have a different value system right now. Not better, not worse, just different.
Right. Well, and that's what it is. I think a lot of times, because of just upbringing or who you are or whatever, we can get caught in that. Well, then I'm not good enough. Then I got to be doing more. No, maybe you're not. Maybe, there's sowing and reaping time. And one is, you have to have both, but you can't do them both at the same time. You just
and
can't.
Brendan Burchard really taught us and drove it home when we were in Phoenix, is that, are you feeling your day?
Yeah.
Are you really feeling your day? Or are you just zooming through it and doing all these, you're not really feeling it, because all that other stuff is important. But like, how do you want to feel? For one, personally, do you want to feel like you're out of alignment and you're just all over the place? Or if you're going, you feel like that's your day. But the other thing is, on the other side of this, is, are you feeling your day? Are you taking the time to say, I'm feeling my day right now?
Yeah, and find a word. I mean, we've talked about it before with Allison on the other podcast about, an intentional word. One word describes how you want to be today. Just pick a word.
Yeah, set the intention.
And there's no A, B, C, D. Nobody's going to score your card later. You are, maybe. But one word, like, today I want to be excited. Today I want to be kind. Today I want to be compassionate. And, today I want to give grace. And then just watch that ripple effect. It'll kick in. Believe me, it'll kick in. And how do you show up for someone else? First, you got to show up for yourself. A lot of people don't do that. They always want to give to somebody else. How do you show up for you?
Yeah, that's
gentle
good.
to you today.
That's really good.
For those of you who know me are going to be surprised at this one. I didn't know it, but I needed a damn good cry today. And it's out. And my alignment is running way better on the four, two legs, not four legs. I was thinking of a car going 4 tires on my, I have a tire, but it's not
Her
the one we
spin
want to talk
cycle's
about.
very smooth right now, and tires
Yeah.
running better.
Yeah. And that's okay. It's not a matter of, oh, now why did I do that? Let me go journal about that for 72 hours. No.
Right. No.
See it feel it. Let's go back to our dear friend Brendan. Feel that, and does it feel right? When Charlie and I were having a very serious talk today, because God's blessed us with each other. Iron sharpens iron, if you know what that means. And it was needed. It was needed for both of us. But Darlene was feeling all these other feelings that I couldn't get into alignment. And sometimes we need to take it to somebody else to help with the tune-up.
Yeah, I like that analogy. Sometimes you have to take it to the shop. Sometimes you can't just, it's not as simple as adjusting the load in the wash machine. Sometimes you have to call a repairman out and he's going to have to adjust it. You don't throw the washer out, but you just need to to make adjustment. And it was the same. This conversation wasn't one-sided. It really did work both ways for both of us because and I'm thinking, I was sitting here thinking, how does that what does that look like? How do we know when we're out of alignment? How do we know when we are doing too much and we're not being how we're supposed to? I think it looks like a lot of things for different people. It could be sadness. It could be frustration. You're frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
I love the word shalom because it means fragmented, not fragmented, a wholeness, a state of wholeness, with no fragmentations. If you're feeling fragmented, whatever that word means to you, again, if it means stressed, frustrated, sad, less than, it's negative. If you're fragmented, then you need to stop and get aligned.
Yeah. And find that peace. And what that looks like to each of us is different. I know even when I didn't live at the beach.
Yeah.
I had to sit wherever I was, whatever state, and close my eyes and visualize that beach. For me, that's where I could really connect with God. That's just the way my brain works. Now, when I feel frustrated or anxious or whatever, it's like, okay, yes, I do know God is with me at all times. For those of you who are going to write me and say, Darlene, he's not just at the beach. Well, okay, you can have that belief. That's fine. I'm not even going to argue it. For me, he and I have to go sit on the sand. He's been there for me since I was a little girl, and that's where we meet up.
Yeah.
So for me, when I'm like, okay, I can't do this on the computer. I can't do that. Oh my God, Darlene, get in your car or walk. How about that one? A mile to the beach and sit there and shut up and listen to God.
And let him meet you on the beach.
And he does meet me on the beach. And
coming soon to a bookstore near you.
Yes. Yeah. And I hope and pray when I do, my book and I do my videos, I've been told by people, and it blesses my heart that they like that. And it's not for show and tell. It's for share. I remember living in the desert for so many years, and I'm like, if I could just get to the beach. I do that for people so maybe they can see the beach, or maybe they can hear what God told me. When I see those cute little sandpipers and they walk really fast and then they eat whatever they're eating in the sand, I look at that, and what comes to my brain is, and I'll probably say the scripture a little bit wrong, sorry, is Darlene's translation. If he cares that much for that bird, that sparrow, whatever, how much more does he care for me?
Yeah.
That bird is not worried 3 hours ago is, I'm going to be hungry and I don't know where I'm going to get something to eat.
Yeah. I didn't stockpile. Wait.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There's no poverty mentality.
No, there you go. There's no poverty mentality. There's no lack, scarcity, any of it. And I look at that and go, wow. And every time I look at the water, I go, he tells the water when to stop.
Yeah.
I may have lost a few of you, but I don't care. Everybody else got it. I'm amazed.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing. That's just mind-blowing right there. It doesn't just keep going and it's a tsunami. He tells it when to stop. Yeah. He holds it back.
Yeah, or they'll go, well, it's because of the moon. Well, guess who put the moon up there?
Right. And I really, for us, we're being really open here, is that when we started our conversation, and you guys have friends that this happens, business partners, spouses, family members, we were like, man. Yeah. We just were like, okay, wait, we need an alignment. We cannot finish this meeting. We cannot finish these podcasts we need to record today. Okay, we need to stop and we need to get in alignment. So
stop and pray.
We stopped and prayed, and that wasn't our alignment. It was literally, we were both of us had got attitude adjustments, mind adjustments, alignments. He both of our loads were off on the spin, and we started praying, and he adjusted the load, and we both finished it out well.
Your coach, Sandy Krakowski, taught me this a couple of years ago. We invite God into every part of our life. We didn't take 97 minutes, go get on our knees, go in our prayer closet, and put the prayer mantle over our head. Okay. Right. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying we didn't do that at that moment.
There's a season, right?
There's a season for that. She says, she will just go, God, I need the right colors for this ad, that it'll make, it will attract the right people. Thank you. Amen. Period. So we knew enough, and we have that relationship that we know we can do that because she knows me and I know her in interesting ways that it's nothing but God. And she's like, "Do we need to pray?" I said, "Yeah, we do. We do." Because we're adult enough and wise enough now with all of our learning and all of our experiences and all of our wisdom that God has imparted to both of us, that it's like, hold on, before I go into Deidre Darlene, which is not a pretty, nobody wants to see her. I don't even have to say that. And Charlie and I have the kind of relationship that she's like, kind of like, I always think of Snoopy, you know, like, or not Snoopy. Who was that dog? Like, yeah, Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo. That it's like we both.
Row.
Do you want to pray? I said, I've been praying all morning. You do it. You know, and that wasn't nasty. That was just like, no, I can't pray right now. You're going to have to. And she did. And again, God came in to our space in Arkansas and in California and let us be honest, loving, and not negative, not snarky, not what we all can go there. I mean, if anybody thinks that they never go there, I want to know you.
But the people that that's not life-giving. So like what's that going to do? You're going to get that out of your system and now there's damage. No, stop and adjust so that we're life-giving and not in a place where we're doing death. And we're just, you can be in a different place than other people and you're not comparison like we came back to is that, and you're saying, how are you going to impact someone else's life today? You don't want to impact them by dumping all your trash onto them. Maybe you had a bad morning, or maybe you're feeling insecure, or maybe you're comparing, or maybe you're challenged by what your life goals or your values are, and you're out of balance. And so you're bringing that into a conversation, or you're bringing that and that was, I think, the case for both of us this morning is we were both out of balance. And then we were going to try to have a balanced conversation. That's like two wheels on a bicycle that were bent, trying to roll down the thing. But, let's do this. Yeah. But you have, I just want to take back, like you right now, what's important. And you might be in the grind, and that's what's important. God has you sowing and planting, and you're in a season where you are working your tail off, where you're digging trenches and pulling weeds and all this. But then you might be in a season where you're in the harvest, where you're like sitting back and saying, how am I going to help someone? How am I just going to go have a coffee chat with a friend? Yeah. Or just say somebody's in that sowing part and they're, like you said, tilling and doing all, but maybe you can come along and do some of the cleanup work, but you're not, sweating as hard as they are. No, you've done that. But it's not your season. Yeah, not your season, but you can still help. Yes. And that can be in many different ways. Right. It's like. But when you get the adjustment, when you leave, you've left the conversation and the people don't feel drained because they were in your presence. Yeah. You want to be a battery charger, or you want to walk and leave the conversation or the room and it's like, oh God, I feel drained. I'm glad that person's gone. Glad I don't have to talk to them anymore. No one wants that, but we've all experienced it, truth be told. Sure. And it's like, how can we better not? And it goes back to, the C word, communication. If you can't talk real to somebody, life's not good. I talk real to God. I know Charlie does too. And a lot of people don't have that relationship with him. I pray that by being around Charlie and I for any length of time here, through our funny podcast, through our interesting podcast, through our great guests, that someone that needs to know that there is a God you can sit down with and be real and not have to be holier than thou and not have to come perfect to him, but say, look, I'm messed up today and show me what I got to do. Show me what I got to do. You've been here. You already have the remedy. How do I line up with your remedy? You need to align me right now because I am a hot mess. And I'm going to fall in a ditch and sit in the pothole. Right. Right. Yeah. And most of if you follow me at all, I'm all about, my first thing is, Father, change me. Because that's the only thing I have power over. Yeah. No matter what's happening to me, no matter what the other person's doing in any relationship, it's, Father, change me. Because ultimately, on your deathbed, what are you going to do when you're looking back? Ultimately, they're not going to talk about, now all of us have had someone die in our life. And so I'm not the only one. I'm not saying I am. But there's been a few fresh ones lately.
And it's like, you don't talk about, oh, I wish they had done, better at their business. I wish they had been, in the boardroom more. I wish they'd
No,
accomplished more. No, 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 no.
no. One of my very best friends, Tracy, passed away about, I think it's been 4 years now. And even still, I look, she pops up like when I'm on Pinterest, and I'll say share, and her name pops up, and it's like breaks my heart, because I'd be like, oh, that's someone I would have shared that with. But I think I don't look back. I do say, oh my gosh, she was so smart and so talented.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
don't like go down her resume of
Right.
her accomplishment or her financial accolades or any of those
Her
things. I don't
doings.
do that. I was like, none of her doings. The thing is, how did she make me feel?
Mm-hmm.
There's a song by Jeff and Sherry Easter, and I've sang it a couple of times at some funerals, and it's called She Loved. And I do recommend go on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube or something, and it's called She Loved. And it's beautiful. It says, it's basically, what will they say at the end of your life? And it says, I hope they say she loved more than anything else. She loved with all of her heart. She loved. And that's really what you want, at the end of the day.
That's what we all want. Brendan was saying with some of his, Brendan Burchard was talking about his 3 words after he came out of a bad accident was, did I live? Did I love? And did I matter?
Yeah.
And when he said that, I break out in tears in the middle of a 1,200 seat room. And I'm like, wow, why is that hitting me? And maybe because I'm getting older. So for those of you that are in my,
you're just in a different season.
That's what it is. It's like, and it's okay. We want people to think, oh, she was a wonderful human being, or she always had a kind word, or she made me laugh. She sat with me at the hospital when nobody else was there. She encouraged me. She was kind. She was compassionate. Most of all, she was real, and she wasn't afraid to talk to me in loving ways. But if I needed that
kick in the ass,
velvet brick, that kick in the ass, or the kick in the head with the velvet brick, she was there too. But more importantly is, it's the person, it's that person, the human being that he or she was. And I think that's what we all have to take stock of some days, and intentionally say, today I'm going to text somebody that I just want to tell them I love them, or I'm going to put a card in the mail to somebody. And I'm not talking about turning into a Mother Teresa. I'm talking, just be the best version of you.
Yeah.
That you were created to be. And you were definitely created to be that. The Lord walked amongst all kinds of people, but they knew one thing: He loved them.
Yeah.
And if we can't, if we can't do that for one another, I don't know what you're doing.
I think it starts with being self-aware, being in tune with yourself, really being self-aware, to step back and say, how am I out of alignment? And then I love that. You said just being real with yourself, first of all, and being real with other people. And if you can't be real with them, they shouldn't be in your life, because you don't have time for that. Relationships that you can't be real with. So, yeah.
I thank you, Charlie, for being the real deal in my life.
You too. Thank you for being the real deal in my life. Yeah. Because we are all, we want people to remember us for just that, right? And you're so much more than you really think you are.
Yeah, we really are. We have to remember who the manufacturer was, and he doesn't make junk.
No, and there's no recall.
It's us that gets out of alignment. No, there's no recall, and we're the one that, the reason we're out of alignment is not him.
Right.
It's us, and he can so quickly get us back into alignment. So quickly.
Amen.
Gotta ask.
So find someone today that you get to love on, that you're going to create a good experience and memory that you can bring life to. Speak and bring life to the situation, whatever is happening. And I always ask God, is there someone today? And every day He brings someone to my mind that I can make their day better. Every day He gives me someone new, maybe the same person 2 days in a row, but He does. He brings people to me, and and every time, oh my gosh, how did you know I was struggling today? Every time. So I just encourage you all to just ask.
Or they say, oh, I was going to call you. And it's like, it's okay. But my point is that He's told me, again, everyone's different, but He's told me, when you think about somebody, pray for them and then call them And even if you just leave a voicemail,
Yeah.
leave a voicemail with 2 or 3 people, give yourself that assignment today. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not your teacher, but I double dog dare you to do something for, we'll just say 5 days. I'll give you the weekends off. You don't have to do it. But for 5 days straight, call somebody. And even if they answer and you don't have an hour to talk to Aunt Susie Q, it's okay. Just say, I just wanted to call and tell you I love you. Say it now while you can. Be kind to somebody today. That's not just an Ellen DeGeneres little, sign off on her thing. My point is that don't regret those little things that you wish you would have said to somebody, because I don't think it's necessary that we have those regrets.
No,
I think
I
it's
think
just
so either. I live your life with no regrets. Live your life. I know I shared this before, but my husband and I say often to each other, we're like, I want you to know, if I died today, I know there's nothing else you needed to say to me. I know how much you loved me. I know how much you appreciated me.
Beautiful.
I know that you worked really hard to provide for me and to make my life good. There was nothing unsaid. There's nothing. I don't want you to wish you would have said one more thing.
Oh, that's
Because I know. And I think that's a freedom that we give people, that you can give people, let them know that, don't live your life with regret like that. Mm-mm. Yeah. Mm-mm. Thank you for sharing your real
pleasure.
Moments today.
My real moments. Thank you. I hope
Love you.
Bless somebody. Love you too. For real.
For real.